Hello everyone. Welcome to Teaching English for Young Learner class. In this presentation, we will talk about the use of storybooks in teaching English for young learner. This presentation is brought to you by Group 9. Some points of explanation will be covered in this presentation are: first, why use stories? Second, selecting storybooks. Third, using storybooks. Fourth, storytelling techniques. And the last is associated activities. Why use stories? The educational value of using storybooks and storytelling has always been undisputed throughout the world. Using storybook and storytelling is a way to create an acquisition-rich environment and ideal learning condition which provide comprehensible input. Here are some of the reasons why teachers often use storybooks in their teaching. First, stories are motivating, challenging, and fun. It can help developing children's positive attitude and create children's desire to continue learning. Second, stories encourage children's social and emotional development. Storytelling provokes a shared response of laughter, sadness, excitement, and anticipation which is enjoyable and can help build up confidence. Ultimately, it can encourage social and emotional development. Third, listening to stories allows teachers to introduce or revise vocabulary and structures, and expose children to it. Fourth, listening to stories help children become aware of the rhythm, intonation, and pronunciation of language. Fifth, storybooks provide ideal opportunities for presenting cultural information and encouraging cross-cultural comparison. Sixth, storybooks develop children's learning strategy, such as listening for general meaning, predicting, guessing meaning, and hypothesizing. Last but not least, storybooks offer concrete outcomes activities, in the form of games, competition, quizzes, drama, song, and etc. Selecting storybooks. Cares need to be taken in selecting appropriate, useful, and relevant storybooks for children learning EFL. Obviously, different storybooks contain different features. Furthermore, carefully selected storybooks can be interpreted on many different levels based on the child's age, conceptual and emotional development, and all-round experience, and can be exploited in many different ways. There are at least 4 things need to be considered in selecting storybooks. First is language. This criteria mainly deals with vocabulary and structure which should be appropriate for certain level of children. Second is content. The content should be relevant, amusing, memorable, and most importantly, engage children interest in learning. It will also be better if the story contained few humors. Third is illustration and layout. The illustration should synchronize with the text and support children's understanding. It should be attractive and colorful as well. Furthermore, the nice layout will maximize children interaction with the story. Fourth is motivation and value. Good storybook will be able to motivate children in developing positive attitude toward target language and learning. It can also make children to become aware of important values contained in the story. Using storybooks. Storybooks can be used to provide extra language practice by supplementing and complementing a course book. For example, if you have just covered a unit about animals, you may like to read your pupils an animal story. If you do not have to adhere rigidly to a particular course book, storybooks can also be used as short basic syllabuses in their own right. 6 or 7 storybooks can be worked on throughout a school year. In this way, storybooks can provide the starting point for all kind of related language learning activities and offer a novel alternative to the course book. Storytelling techniques. Here are some techniques you can use to maximize your storytelling activity. If children unfamiliar with storytelling, begin with short sessions which do not demand too much from them and overextend their concentration span. If possible, have younger children sit on the floor around you, making sure everyone can see you and the illustration clearly. Read slowly and clearly. Give your pupils time to relate what they hear to what they see in pictures, to think, ask questions, and make comments. However, Do vary the pace when the story speeds up. Make comments about the illustrations, and point to them to focus the pupils' attention. Encourage your pupils to take part in the storytelling by repeating key vocabulary items and phrases. You can invite them to do this by pausing and looking at them with questioning expression, and by putting your hand to your ear to indicate that you are waiting for them to join in. Use gestures, mime, and facial gestures to help convey meaning. Vary the pace, tone, and volume of your voice. You can whisper to build up suspense, or you can introduce an element of surprise by raising your voice. Pause where appropriate to add dramatic effect or to give children time to relate what they hear to what they see. Disguise your voice for the different characters as much as you can, to signal when different characters are speaking, and help convey meaning. Make sound effects where possible. Ask questions to involve children, by asking, "What do you think is going to happen next? What would you do?" Do not afraid to repeat, expand, and reformulate the story. It increases opportunities of exposure to the language, and gives children a second chance to work out the meaning and have it confirmed. Associated activities. Drawing and coloring. Children can redraw the characters, create maps showing where the story takes place, think of other possible cover illustrations, and so on. Handicrafts. Pupils can be encouraged to create their own handicraft, inspired by the characters and places in the books they have enjoyed. Song and rhymes. Very often, the themes developed in stories are to be found in various song and rhymes. Vocabulary activities. Pupils can create their own picture dictionary, based on words from the stories they have read or heard. This is the end of our presentation. Hope you enjoyed and understand clearly about it. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.